guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and 70 Mounts Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Undefeated. So y'all, before we jump into it, just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. Brucey here is going to be giving you lads a one-on-one wrestling lesson. And if anyone else calls me Brucey, you're getting a one-way ticket to the med bay. Any questions? He puts his hands on his hips as Bucky pats him on the back. I wanted you guys to get some practice grappling with someone above your weight. A few folks have gotten some pretty big weight differences in their fights, so I want you all to be prepared. When you gotta fight someone bigger than you, like huge big, what's the first rule that comes to grappling? There's silence for a second, then I raise my hand. Don't? There you go. If you're in a fight with it and the guy outweighs you by a couple dozen kilos, it might be best to stay off the ground. Now, what are you going to do if he overpowers you and takes you down anyways? That's kind of a vague question. There are a few ways to get at it depending on the situation. That's what we're here to learn today. Bruce is going to come at you, one at a time, and we'll coach you through it. Who's up first? A bunch of people start talking, but Redline steps up to the plate first, almost face-planting into the Dino's chiseled body. Brave. Attaboy, Red. You two ready? Redline says nothing, immediately going for a single leg takedown. Bruce doesn't budge. He lets out a loud laugh and steps forward, making sure there's enough space to wrestle. Once there, Bruce grabs underneath Red's arms, making it easier to situate his leg to the outside of Red's. Bruce's foot plants itself behind Red's, and with hardly any effort, the two drop to the mat without Bruce on top. Oof! Pause! Bruce freezes in place on top of Redline, his hands pressing the hyena's wrists against his fuzzy belly as Redline thrashes underneath 300 pounds of muscle. After a second, he too calms down. So, Bruce has Red's wrists and he's got a good mount. What should Red do here? The rest of the classmates are only half paying attention, as some of them are talking amongst themselves. Tap out? Guys, focus! He's already lost wrist control and he's on his back, so he can at least try to get on his side. Out from underneath? Trying. Not quite. If you get on your side, it's going to be real easy for me to take any position or hold I want, especially since I got your wrists. You want to take your knee and... Hey! Red was already scrambling to get on his side, and thanks to the amount of sweat on his fur, he slides out before Bruce can get his weight settled on top. The champ still has a hold on Red's wrists, though, and quickly pulls him close. No, you don't, pup! Holding both their hands against Red's wrists, Bruce can hold him in place to his heart's content. If Red wants to move, he has to use his hips, and right now Bruce has those pinned down. He postures up on one knee, then transitions to full mount, straddling Redline completely. Pause! The two freeze in place. Bruce has secured the mount. What should Red do? Again, the rest of the men are barely paying attention. A few voices speak up over the rest of the chatter. Tap out? Just kick his ass, since you're so strong, right? Hey! Easy. He spoke low enough the rest of the men couldn't hear. Bucky lets out a sharp whistle, loud enough to get everyone's attention. If Red doesn't get out of this hold, you're all doing 50 laps. Give me some answers, boys. Clock's ticking. That got people thinking. They'll start shouting answers enough to drown each other out. Red starts squirming under Bruce. I got it. You got it? Alright, unpause. Red tries to maneuver out, twisting his body and legs in precise ways, only for Bruce to defend against them. There's a bit of grappling. They're in the same position, but with Redline face down on the mat. Pause! The rest of the men are jeering and shouting commands, all mixed in too thoroughly for anyone to properly understand. Bruce is now sitting upright fully on Red's back, hands on his hips as he looks disapprovingly at the rest of the men. Any of you got any actual help, or are you just yelling shit? Looks like the right position for Red, honestly. Yeah, maybe Bruce will let you go if you suck his dick. That caused a reaction from everyone in the room. Bruce tensed up. Redline froze. The other fighters laughed. Bucky sent another sharp whistle. Anyone that laughed gets 50 laps after class. After they finish training with me. His glare is enough to pierce the men, with most of their fun sputtering to an uncomfortable stop. I took his back. What are his options? They're all quiet. This is the worst case scenario down here. I could swing at his face. I could choke him out. I could go further for an armbar. No rounds to save him. What can he do? Can he buck you off? One option. Or slide out from underneath? If he can lift 300 pounds, that's another option. Any way you look at it, he's probably going to get hit, even trying to get out. He rolls over and I'll flatten his muzzle. Obviously, I'm not going to hit him right now, but this is the real danger he's in. And this is the real danger that every single person in this room could be in. He speaks loudly. He speaks slowly, loudly, deliberately. Not to Redline, but to the rest of the fighters. When you get a fight, you don't know what's going to happen. And if you don't prepare for the worst, you can end up in a real bad spot. Quit fucking around and figure something out fast. You aren't always going to be fighting someone your size, not even down here. Red. He sighs and lifts his head. Yeah? I took your back. Yeah? You've bucked me off before. Why don't you show them how that looks like with a bigger guy? Sure. With much less enthusiasm than before, the smaller man starts thrashing from side to side. It's not the most graceful way to shake someone loose, but in the heat of the fight, throwing someone off balance can turn the tides in an instant. Red turtles up, sliding a knee up closer to his head. Normally that would require him to lift Bruce with his hips, but the big guy shifted into a position that makes it a little easier. After a bit of bucking, Bruce falls off, with Redline postured up on all fours. Both fingers pause without Bucky needing to tell them. Both fighters pause without Bucky needing to tell them. And then from there, Redline can take control of the fight. Fighting from the top's tough with a bigger opponent, though, so he'll... Actually, I just wanted to work on defense with these guys today. Bucky and Redline both stop, looking a bit lost. Oh, sure. Bruce stands up, helping Redline to his feet. Good work, Red. Redline doesn't say anything, simply moving to the back of the crowd without making eye contact. You. He singles out the person that made the joke about Redline. Let's go. Nope. The other lightweight tries to laugh it off, but Bruce goes in for the kill almost immediately. His holds and slams are much more aggressive than he was with Redline, even compared to them wrestling on the beach last night. Red? He looks up at me, ears folded down. You okay? Yeah. It looks like Bruce is really giving it to him. Yeah. Red lets out a sigh. I thought this was going to be fun. It's okay, dude. I don't know what else I can do to cheer him up, aside from draping my arm across his shoulders and hugging him against my side. After a beat, Redline leans his head against mine. We watch Bruce test the other fighters' abilities together. Well, test is the wrong word. He works through a series of holds with each guy, clearly going just far enough to scare them, all the while Bucky coaches them through it. Every man in the gym gets his turn, all except for... You're up, Zan! Bruce glares up at me. His chest is glistening, absolutely drenched in sweat, though I'm not sure if that's his sweat or everyone else's. You been paying attention? Sure have. Consider this a taste of what's coming up this weekend, then. Of course, I'll be a lot less sweaty then. Bruce rises to his feet, that full towering height of almost 2 feet over me. I have to crane my neck up to make eye contact. Unless you think you can work me this hard. The rest of our classmates are barely paying attention at this point, but Bruce is still trying to keep up appearances. Until Bucky claps his hands and announces loudly, Laps! Starting now! Let's move, boys! The weary men all rise to their feet and start trudging to the door. Bucky's aggressive hand clapping makes them trudge a lot faster. I'll be keeping count! Get moving! Whoa, wait, Red, come here! You don't have to run it! Redline was about to leave with the group, trying to brush past Bucky unnoticed. I've tried that before, so I know how ineffective it is. I know, I was gonna go shower. Oh, you sure you don't want to stick around? It's just gonna be us. It's fine, thanks. Hey, bud, let's talk real quick. Bucky and Redline step out of the gym, closing the door and leaving me alone with Bruce. He sighs and I can see his frame relax. You okay? No, I almost tore some fuck's head off. That might actually make some of these classes bearable. Think you could do that? You want to find out? His chest postures out, hot breath huffing down from his snout. We got all the space we need. Whenever you're ready. Bruce takes his position, ready to wrestle. I have no choice but to mirror him, and the two of us slowly start to circle each other. Whenever I'm ready. When am I supposed to be ready? We've already wrestled a few times before, and nothing seems to work. But this is just training. I don't need to win, I just need to think. I need to figure out what my options are. The longer I wait, the more energy he's gonna have. That's my first mistake. Come on, Zan! He almost growls the words, breathless, excited. My heart skips a beat, and I snap back to the moment. I could go for the wrists, but there's a chance he could get a hold of mine. Once that happens, I'm fucked. If I shoot for a leg, he's just going to catch me. I do not want to put myself under him. He's tired. I have to take advantage of that. He's going to be slower, and the sweat has left him slick. Maybe I can fake him out and take him to the ground. My hand reaches out, feigning interest in Bruce's arms. Naturally, he tries to deflect and grab my own, but I pull away before he can get a hold. Other hand reaches to go for his other wrist. Like busy deflecting out, my first hand reaches forward again. These are all just feints, attempts to make Bruce react. I can try to catch him off guard. The faster I move, the more effort he has to put in. Reach in, grab his wrist, and pull away before he can grab mine. Reach in, step to the side, make him think I'm going for a takedown, just to think it back and move to the other side. His breathing has been heavy since we started circling, so I have to move faster. So I have to move fast. Faster than him, at least. He's giving me a chance. Finally, one of his arms reaches too far forth, giving me a space to slip under and getting close without any resistance. My arms reach up around his neck, locking him in place behind him. The champ gives a growl, realizing too late that I'm close enough now. Carrying my momentum, I slip a foot behind his ankle and sweep it out. If Bruce weren't wiped out like he is right now, that might not have worked, but after wrestling for over an hour straight, anyone is bound to make mistakes. He wobbles for a second, but with an extra shove, he topples to the ground. Heavy bags around the room shudder as Bruce lands on the mat with a heavy thud. I scramble to take advantage before he can react, landing on top of him and crawling to mount his waist. Attaboy, Zan! Now how are you going to handle this? His thick arm reaches for my neck, clamping down around it as he pulls my face into his chest. The other scaled arm folds over, creating a nearly unbreakable lock. There's no force choking me out, just holding me in place. Poof! Easy, watch your breathing. He flexes his arm and I almost feel a choke start. Because in a real fight, you won't be breathing much. I can just hear the cocky grin on his lips. Focus, Zander. My hand finds purchase on his abs. If this were a fight, I could strike here and try to loosen his grip, but not right now. I want to slide my hands under your lock and try to separate it. Good. But if I do that, you can get a hold of my arms, too. Also good. For me. You can swing from my body. You can weasel out of my hold if I'm slippery enough. You are right now, yeah. Don't mean shit. Hey! Let's take advantage of while he's talking. I press my head against his pec and pull out. Luckily, the sweat was enough to lubricate me free of the hold. Before he can get another hold, I scramble up onto his abs and posture up. Ah! Before he can get another hold, and good God. It's hard to focus when he looks like this. Huh. Shit, I'll give you that one. Alright, wise guy, what's the plan from up here? He folds his hands behind his head, showing off his chiseled body. I take a second to breathe. I mean, my fist presses gently against his chin, signifying to be able to strike in a real fight. I just knock you out, right? Sure, if you can. Got a diamond jaw, though. I roll my eyes. Yeah, I know, I've seen your earlier fights. It's a good look for you. What, you like my old gear? No, I like you getting beat the fuck up. Bruce lets out a deep laugh, sucking in heavy breaths as he wipes the sweat from his forehead. Sorry to say it ain't gonna be that easy, but if you're nice, I'll let you get a few swings in before I win. You're gonna win? Even when I got a full mount? And I'm hammering away at your face? Mm-hmm. Done it before, and he was a lot bigger than you. He was also probably concussed. Who says you won't be? You did! Ah, shit, I did. Yes, you told me you weren't gonna try to knock me out. In a flash, Bruce moves, faster than I could have expected, too. In an instant, I'm face down on the mat with Bruce's full weight smothering me. With a heavy grunt, that thick arm slides in under my chin, ignoring any resistance I give. The arm bends at the elbow, and his other hand locks the hold in place. His breath creeps down my neck, forcing a shiver down my spine as the heat plays against my nape. And how about this? This okay? He speaks quiet, almost whispering. It's not a growl, but I can tell he's not treating me gently. Zander, I'm starting to think you were enjoying this. Fine. Kind of hard to speak when I get blindsided like that. Where do you get all that energy? Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. I'm going to go ahead and go, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!